Hi, in this video we will do more examples to show how the procedure of row reducing a matrix work. Do you remember the steps? Choose it, move it, turn it to 1, reduce the column using the 1. Here we move from left to right and we stop when we get into entries, non-zero entries. There are 2 of them. I choose this one to be my leading one, next leading one. Yes, so I choose it, then I move it. Where should I move it? Move it just below the rows with leading one, but I don't have any leading one. Means that move it to the top of the matrix, so it will be R1 interchange R2. This is 2, -1, 0, -1, 0, 1, -2, 1, and 4, 1, -1, 1. Then choose it, move it, turn it to 1. How can I turn that 1 to 1? Well, by multiplying the whole row by its inverse. So half times 2 is 1, -half, 0, another -half, and then everything is same as before. Now choose it, move it, turn it to 1 is done. Reduce the column using the 1. So this is already 0. We have to make this guy here 0. How do we do that one? Okay, this is what we do. 4, we want to turn 4 to 0. Negative of 4, it is -4 times the row with the leading one, or 1, added to row 3, the row of the 4, and then replace it by R3, yes. So 1, -half, 0, -half is as before. We are not touching any of row 2, but here this is 4 minus 4 times 1. This is 1 minus 4 times -1/2, and this is -1 minus 4 times 0. How about this one? 1 minus 4 times -half. And when we do this, we get 1 -half, 0 -half, 0 1 -2 1, and this is 0. This guy will give us 3. This is -1, and this is another 3. Nice. We are done with the first leading one. It is chosen. It is in the right place. It's 1. Everything else in that column is 0. We have to move to the next leading one. So cover row 1, move from left to right. So there is no non-zero entry in the first column. In the second column, there are 2 of them. So we have to choose one of them to be our next leading one. Okay? We choose the 1, which is 1. Yes. Choose it, move it. Do I need to move it? No, it is already just below the row with leading one. Turn it to 1. Well, it is already 1. I don't need to turn it to 1. Then reduce the column using the 1. So we have to use that one to make this one. You see this one and this one here, these 2 0. How do we do these ones? Okay, for this -1/2, negative of -1/2 is 1/2. Multiplied to the row with the leading one, this is R2, and added to its row, which is row 1. How can I do this other one? R3. Sorry, 3 0. Well, negative of 3 is -3. Multiply it to the row with the leading one, which is R2, and then add it to row 3. So in both operations, R2 doesn't change. So we have this staying the same. What happens to our 1 is 1 plus half times 0, negative half plus half times 1, and 0 plus half times negative 2. How about this part? Negative half plus half times 1. And in the row 3 we have 0 minus 3 times 0, 3 minus 3 times 1, and negative 1 minus 3 times negative 1. How about here? 3 minus 3 times 1. Well, this will give us 1, 0, and negative 1, 0, 1, negative 2. Here, this is 0 already, so we have 0 here. This is 0 also. This guy here gives me 3 minus 1. This is 2. And then 3 minus this is 0, and 1 is in the place. So we found the second leading one. We have to now move and find the third leading one. Okay, ignore these ones, move from left to right, column by column check. Is there any non-zero entry? No. Is there any non-zero entry in the second column? No. Is there any non-zero entry in the third column? Yes, there is one. Choose that to be your leading one, and it is in the right place. So choose it, move it. I don't need to move it. Turn it to 1. I will turn it to 1 by multiplying the whole row 3 by its inverse. So it will be 1, 0, negative 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 2, 1, and 0, 0, well, 1, 0. Now, this is the last step. Reduce the column using the 1. So we have to use this guy to make this and this entry equal to 0. How do we do that? Well, for example, this one, negative of that is 1, multiply to row with the leading 1 and add it to its row. To do this other one, negative 2. Negative of negative 2 is 2 times the row with the leading 1 plus the same row. Okay. So in both cases, the row 3 doesn't change. And let me just do these operations without here. So this will be, first one, 1 plus 0, 1. 0 plus 0 is 0. And negative, this is 0. And this is 0. This one 0, this is 1. And this one is 0. And this one is 1. And that's it. We have now 3 rows, 3 leading ones. Everything else in that column, in those columns, are 0, and we have a step like this. Is row reduced echelon form of that augmented matrix. Okay, let's do one more example. This is, yes, this is nice. 2 by 2. Choose it, move it, turn it to 1. Choose it. I don't need to move it. I don't need to turn it to 1. Reduce the column using the 1. So we can go ahead, and negative of this guy here is negative 2 times the row with the leading 1, add to the second row. So 1, negative 4, 1 is here. This will be 2 minus 2 times 1, 0. Negative 2 times negative 8. Negative 2 times negative 4 is 8. Add to 3, this is 11. And negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Add to 2, this is 0. Very nice. We are done with the first leading one. What shall we do for the second one? Well, cover the first row, move from left to right. Is there any non-zero entry here? Ignoring the first row. No. Is there any here? Yes, there is. Choose that. Choose it. Move it. I don't need to move it because it's just below the rows with the leading 1. Turn it to 1. I can turn it to 1 by multiplying the whole row by its inverse. So it will be 1, negative 4, 1, and the whole 0, 1, 0. Now, this is our leading 1 in the right place. Reduce the column using the 1. So we have to make this 1 0. How do we do it? Well, negative 4, we want to make it 0. Negative of that is plus 4. Multiply to the row with the leading 1 and add it to the row of the negative 4. So this will give us, first of all, we're not changing row 2, so it will be there. Here will be 1 plus 0, and that is 0, and that is 1. And as you can see now, we are done with the row reduce in this matrix, and that's what we get here. And let's do one more example here. Choose it. Well, there are 2 of them. I can choose either 2 or this one. Well, let me choose this one. This time, let me choose this one. Move it. Well, I have to switch R2 to R1. So it will be 1, 3, 0, and 1. 2, 2, negative 1, 2. Choose it, move it, turn it to 1. It is already 1, so I don't need to do that. Then reduce the column using the 1. So we have to make this guy's 0. How? We want to make 2 0. Negative of that. Multiply to the row with the leading 1 and add it to the row with 2. So row 1 stays the same. Row 2, however, this will be 0. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Add to 4 is to 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, so it won't change this one. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Add to this is 0. Okay, we have the first leading 1, and well, everything is done. Everything else in that column is 0, and so on. Okay, now we covered this, and we want to choose next leading 1. Move from left to right, column by column. See if there's a non-zero entry. Here, there's none. The second, well, there's only 1. That's good. We choose that one to be our leading 1. Now, choose it, move it. Do I need to move it? No, it is just below the rows with the leading 1. I don't need to move it. Turn it to 1. How? Divide it by its inverse. Divide the row, which is row 2, by its inverse. This will be 1, 0. This will be 1. This will be 1 over 4. Negative 1 times negative 1 over 4. And this will be 0. Now, we have leading 1 here. We have to make everything else in that column 0. Well, there is this guy, 3. We have to make it 0. How? Negative 3, negative of the number. Multiply the row with the leading 1 and add it to the row of 3. So row 2 stays the same. Row 1, 1, 0, negative 3 over 4, and 1. And then, okay, I have one leading 1 now. I have another leading 1. And we have at most 2 rows. We could have only at most 2 leading ones. And we have both of them. This means this is row reduced echelon form.